You know, one of the biggest misconceptions about play therapy is that it is simply just playing with toys. In reality, play therapists actually carefully select activities to help children express emotions, build coping skills, and process difficult experiences. Here are 5 specific techniques that you can use and add to your toolbox. These are the Face It cards. If you've ever seen them, you don't have to use this specific brand, but on the cards, they all have different feeling faces and different emotions. You can take these cards, so there's too sad, too happy, too worried, too everything else, and you can put one on one side of the room and one you hide in the room. And the goal is the children have to go around the room to find the card. When they find their card, they bring it to you for the match. So here we actually have a table right outside the playroom, and I may stand outside of the playroom where I can see them move around. They go and find the card, they bring the card back to me. And when they bring the card back to me, they have to share a time when they felt that emotion or identify that emotion and where they feel it in their body. This activity combines movement, emotional awareness, and emotional vocabulary development. This is the worry container or the worry box. You can get any box that you want or any container to do this activity. Inside of this box are little index cards that children can write on, or they can have crayons, they can draw on, whatever they want. And so when they come in, we can ask them to write or draw out their worries on a slip of paper. And then they're going to feed them to our little worry box here. You can even call it the worry monster, but I call it, they put it in the box. The therapist can help the child then later sort out worries between the worries that they can control and the things that they can't control. Another variation of using this box is by having them come in and ask them any worries that they have, that they can put the worries into the box. When they leave, that you can ask them if they want the worry back. In other words, you're giving them a physical place to put aside things that are bothering them until they need to pick it up later. Another activity that you can use on whiteboards or papers, or if you really want to be creative, you can actually blow up a balloon where you can use the writing part on the balloon. And the point of this activity, which we'll just call balloon thoughts, is kind of taking your anxious thoughts and writing them on the balloon in a dry erase marker. You discuss every single thought that they sort of put on there. You challenge any cognitive distortions, and then you can erase the thought and replace it with something that is a little bit more helpful for them to think about. It's a great way to introduce the concept of cognitive restructuring. Let's talk about the superhero strength shields. This is a really good activity that can be modified a couple of different ways. You can actually have them draw out their shield where they can have different sections of the shield, one that can represent the things that they're good at, their personal strengths. One can be about the supportive people in their life and the people that are around them. One can be about coping skills or accomplishments or future goals. They can decorate the shield. There's that. But another way to do that is to take all of those concepts and talk about them. So when you're talking about the things that you do well, let's talk about that skill that you do really well. And then when they're done, you get a sword. Can't find my sword right now, so I got my little lightsaber. And then you fight them with that thing so that you're using bilateral stimulation in order to get them to think about the things that they do well. This is a great reminder of resilience and resources during very hard times. I have to have at least one activity that involves Legos, because although I personally am not a huge fan of Legos, I know some therapists that really just love Legos and blocks. So one of the things that you can do is ask a child to show your Lego family using different figurines. You can even use blocks to set up family situations, and you can ask them questions like, who lives there? Who is closest to you? Who do you feel that is further away? And these structures often provide the therapist with insights into their relationships, their boundaries, family roles, and perceived support systems. Are there any of these ideas that you feel like you could use? Would you like some more ideas like this? In August 28th and 29th, the Beyond the Box Play Therapy program, which is at Outside of the Box Therapy in Gaffney, South Carolina, will be offering 3 different workshops. One of them is on play therapy techniques. We're going to provide you with activities that you can immediately go back and implement in your playroom with children and with families. And you're going to leave with a whole arsenal of resources, worksheets, games, expressive interventions, and clinical applications that are designed to help you work with children in building social and emotional vocabulary and strengthening engagement with children and connecting them back to you, developing coping skills, and improving outcome measurements. So why do we do this? Because effective play therapy isn't about having more toys, so who has the biggest or the most packed to the gills playroom. It's about knowing how to use those toys in a therapeutic manner.